Alright then lads, welcome back to Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. Kylian Mbappe has been linked with the Gunners in the last 72 hours. Fabrizio Romano, of course, coming out to say that no English Premier League club is really working to sign Kylian Mbappe at the moment. And all clubs that will try to sign him will sign him in 2024 when he becomes free. Now, according to all the outlets I've been looking at, Arsenal are one of the clubs interested in Kylian Mbappe. I'm gonna say this, it is not bizarre that we're interested in the world's most expensive and probably the best player on the planet right now, but can we afford Kylian Mbappe? Now, let me know in the comment box below. I want you to bring two things together. One, the fact that Kylian Mbappe is the best in the world, so we have to knock off Real Madrid, Bayern, Manchester United, Manchester City, and all these other big clubs to sign him. But then number two, do you think Arsenal can go big and offer a player up to 800,000 a week? That is close to 72 million per year. Do you think Arsenal should do that? And do you think it will be beneficial in Arsenal being great again? Hit the like button. Let's get this one to 500. And let's dive into the talk of Kylian Mbappe to the Premier League, in particular to Arsenal. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said, on the links of Kylian Mbappe to Arsenal, he says, despite some big headlines, I honestly have absolutely no idea and no news on any English club being in talks to sign Kylian Mbappe at the moment. Real Madrid are always well informed on Kylian Mbappe. I'm not aware of anything else at the moment. Now, that is Fabrizio Romano reacting to news that Kylian Mbappe is in talks to join the Premier League. Some clubs have been rumored to have, entered talks with Kylian Mbappe's interest to sign him. That is Arsenal, Man United, and maybe to be more precise, Manchester City. Now, I would love a grand sign player. I love a grand signing. I really do love a big signing. When Arsenal signed Mesut Ozil, I absolutely celebrated as if he was going to win us the Premier League. Of course, he didn't, right? He did win us 3 FA Cups, which are also absolutely magnificent. But when we signed Alexis Sanchez, when we signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, when we signed Declan Rice, when we signed, when we signed those big players, I really, really become excited. And I do love a big signing. But Kylian Mbappe is on another planet. It's a deal that if Arsenal did would change our history forever. Right? It's a deal that if Arsenal completed, it would definitely raise the bar so high, not only inside, but also on the outside. I think you sign Kylian Mbappe, you're expected to compete for the UEFA Champions League every single season. You sign Kylian Mbappe, you are the team to beat to the Premier League every single season. Imagine having Mbappe, Rice, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, Jesus. It would be absolutely incredible. A proven goal scorer, one of the best young talents in the world, one of the best players in the world, if not the best in the world, a World Cup at already 24. He's such a magnificent player because he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. There's no question about that. He will win FIFA's FIFA's Best Player of the Year award at some point in time, and he will win the Ballon d'Or at some point in time. Together with Erling Haaland, it's just a question of when, not if. So, I've put together a list of reasons why I think Kylian Mbappe might be a difficulty for Arsenal to do, despite the fact that we are crawling slowly into those phases where you can go and sign a huge name. You can sign a huge player. Number one is the 893,000 he's earning per week. He will have to substantially reduce on this up to 300 or at least 350 or 400 a week. Now, I think we have moved on from that phase where Arsenal, where everyone says, well, Arsenal cannot sign Kylian Mbappe because Mbappe is earning about 300 per week or 300,000 per week. I think we've moved away from that phase. And look, if we are offering a player like Bukayo Saka salaries that rise up to 300, it means that there is the ability in Arsenal's finances to pay up to 400,000 for a player if they feel he's absolutely worth it. And we're talking about a Kylian Mbappe who would be in 2024 a free agent. We're talking about a player who, you sign the world's best player. You sign the future of football for free. That is what Real Madrid are looking to do. That is what Manchester City, Manchester United, and Arsenal are trying to do. We are all trying to get Kylian Mbappe in 2024 on a free. He said he doesn't want to sign a new deal. He doesn't want to stay at Paris Saint-Germain. He's communicated his decision to leave Paris Saint-Germain to the board and to Nasser El Khalifi. And, of course, Nasser now knows, right? But the 800,000 per week, that has to drastically drop. I don't think Kylian Mbappe is going to drop his salary, right, almost halfway, just to join Arsenal. I think Man United can offer him 500 per week. I think Manchester City have the ability to offer him 600 per week. And Madrid, who I do not know actually where the finances stand, I think they can also be able to offer him 500 to 550 per month. So I don't see Arsenal go extraordinarily huge to pay Kylian Mbappe 450, 500 a month. But it would be a good deal. And if Arsenal did agree a deal around 400,000 per month, I think we could get the deal done and we should get it done. But that is the first stumbling block. The second one is the sustainability of a player like Kylian Mbappe. Now, you could sign him, you could give him that sign-on fee, you could give him that contract of 400,000 pounds per week, but he's a player that is so good to an extent that you need to renew his contract almost every year. You will need to revisit the terms and conditions of that deal almost every single year. He can come to the Premier League and score 30 goals in 38 games. He's got the ability to do that, just like Erling Haaland. So, can we sustain him, right? Is he a player that you can keep for 5 years without revisiting the deals every single, every single year or 1.5 years? In my opinion, no. I think he's a player that when you sign him in 2023, you have to revisit his contract in 2024, 2025, 2026 because, he eventually has that ability to outgrow a club. Now, he's outgrown PSG, right? PSG are not a joke, by the way. They are such a huge club in France. But he's outgrown PSG, and, he's looking at it in each and every single way. Wherever he goes, he will be able to earn some good money. And PSG have nothing to offer. Like, they really have nothing to offer to him right now. It's not even the money. If he wants 600k, he will earn it somewhere else, okay? So I think he would eventually outgrow Arsenal. And, he would be a very, very good asset. You get him for free. You sell him in 3 years, like for 200 million. That would be absolutely crazy in terms of making money. But I don't think Arsenal would even think about affording him. But then you also have the Real Madrid effect, which is the big thing. He wants Real Madrid, and Pep Guardiola was asked about the fact that Manchester City were linked with him. And he said, we all know where he wants to go. We all know where Kylian Mbappe's heart is. Kylian Mbappe's heart is not in the Premier League. He's not one of those players that are mad about playing in the Premier League. And it's not true that every player has the biggest dream to play in the Premier League. No, there's very many players whose dream is to play for either Real Madrid or Barcelona, or both of them, right? So his dream is to play for Real Madrid. That is where he wants to go, right? And you look at how Madrid have set the stage for Kylian Mbappe. Jude Bellingham, Aurelien Tchouameni, Eduardo Camavinga, Fede Valverde, Vinicius Jr. You look at the talent, and that is the place you want to go. But of course, look, Madrid have won 6 UEFA Champions League titles in the last 10 years? I'm not really sure about. They're absolutely incredible. If you want to go and win the Ballon d'Or, you sign for 2 clubs. It's either Barcelona or Real Madrid. Because you look at the Ballon d'Or and how it has been shared and spread across the last 1.5 decades. If it's not been Messi, it has been Ronaldo. And Ronaldo has not won a Ballon d'Or after leaving Madrid, I think. Messi won most of his Ballon d'Ors at FC Barcelona as well. And then you've got to picture into the fact that Modric, who actually broke into the list, actually is a Real Madrid player. And look, Kylian Mbappe knows that Madrid focus on winning the UEFA Champions League. They know how big that is, and they have the history. And you signed for Real Madrid, you've signed for the best club in the world, possibly, right? So at a time when Barcelona are declining, Madrid can use that as an opportunity to propel forward and rise quicker than FC Barcelona. So in my opinion, he should go to Real Madrid, right? He wants to compete directly with Erling Haaland. And if he comes to a club like Arsenal or Man United, where both of us are underdogs to Manchester City, it means that he will be forever in the shadow of Erling Haaland. Now, we don't want to do that. I mean, it would be nice to beat Erling Haaland in his own league, but it would be better if he goes to Real Madrid, wins the La Liga almost every single year because he can do that, and then try to win the UEFA Champions League every single year as well. So for me, the Real Madrid effect is another reason why I don't see him sign for a club in the Premier League. The next one is how do we convince him to join us? How do we convince him to join us? Look, he's not James Maddison. We're not talking about attracting James Maddison, that because we've signed Declan Rice, he will definitely be in love with Arsenal. Like, I don't think Declan Rice is an attraction to Kylian Mbappe. I don't think he's an attraction to Kylian Mbappe. I might be wrong about this one. Of course, I could be wrong. But I don't think Kylian Mbappe views Arsenal as the right project for him. I don't think. Or at least we are not yet there yet. So for us to attract Mbappe, we have to do one or two things. One, we have to win the double next season. So before he signs for any other club, or before we try to sign him, we should go and win the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. And there we can propose our project to him. We can send our project to him and tell him, look, this is a project that we've developed. It has won the UEFA Champions League. It has won the FA Cup probably, or it has won the Premier League as well, okay? We have the ability to compete with Manchester City. Now, I don't have a doubt that in his head, he has something like, what if I could join a club in the Premier League and compete with Erling Haaland directly? Because those are the two world's most branded players for this generation now, okay, and for the future. So, but for Arsenal to do that, for us to attract Kylian, we have to have a Premier League 2024, and we must have a Champions League, or at least a Champions League semi-final or final 2024. Are we gonna do that? There is a possibility. There is a huge possibility, especially if Mbappe doesn't go to Real Madrid and they've lost Karim Benzema, and Kroos and Modric are no longer the players they were once. You have a gap. There is a gap for us to go and perform some history in the UEFA Champions League, but that is still very, very hypothetical. Finally, we have chased Mesut Ozil. We have chased Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We have chased Matteo Guendouzi. Issues of discipline. Does he have the discipline that a manager who is very intolerant, like Mikel Arteta, requires? Does he have it? We've had so many stories of Kylian Mbappe falling out with ABC, Kylian Mbappe and the ego, the ego character, Kylian Mbappe and this and that. Does he have the concentration? Does he have the discipline to go and play under Mikel Arteta? I mean, it's a question I'm not going to even answer because the money and ridiculous decision that was done by that was made by PSG to make him one of the to make him just as a sporting director, to give him such a huge role in a football club, it was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing. But at Arsenal, he wouldn't have that. But But I think, again, the ego would be there. So I don't see him humble himself, work as a team, and win, become, a team player. I think, he now knows that I can do it on my own. And that is dangerous. So he knows I could do it on my own. Okay? And regardless of what happens, he knows he's such a very good player. He knows he's such a world-class talent as well. So I think the harmony that Mikel Arteta is creating and the culture that he's creating might actually collide with Kylian Mbappe's ego. But apart from that, this is what I'm going to say. He's a world-class player. Like, when we want to sign Lautaro Martinez and everyone is gassed about it. When we want to sign Dusan Vlahovic and everyone is gassed about it. Kylian Mbappe would be a game changer. Kylian Mbappe would be a signing that Arsenal make and the world of football roars. Like, he would change the landscape of the Premier League. The Premier League needs a signing like Kylian Mbappe. The Premier League needs a player like Kylian Mbappe. It's been the reverse. Players at the level of Kylian Mbappe, Ronaldo, Cesc Fabregas, Thierry Henry, they've been leaving the Premier League to go to Spain. They've been leaving the Premier League to win things at Barcelona and Real Madrid. So if the Premier League can start signing players, the quality, magnitude, name of Kylian Mbappe, the Premier League would be a better place, a much, much better place. But anyway, do I see me at Arsenal? No, I don't see my Arsenal. Do I want him to sign for Arsenal? I tell you what, absolutely. Like, no one wouldn't want Kylian Mbappe at Arsenal. No one wouldn't want Kylian Mbappe in their team. When we've said that Rice makes every single team better, Kylian Mbappe wins silverware for every single team that he would join. Yeah, it could be a catastrophic take, but I think Kylian Mbappe would win silverware for every single team that he plays for. Let me know in the comment box below if Kylian Mbappe is a name that you were thinking about and whether Arsenal should press on. I'll do my video on Aurelien Tchouameni and my reasons why I think Arsenal are going too fast. See you soon.